Timing. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, the young lady that just introduced me is being extremely humble. This young lady just hit the esteemed position of difference maker in a matter of a few hours being in this business. She's a consummate leader, and we're honored to have her as part of our Bellator and Miracle Cash and More family. So, Miss Patton, we salute you. You guys give her some shout outs in the chat if you have a moment as well, right? So, again, thank you so much for plugging in tonight, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to make it clear that I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't give financial advice. And also understand that past performance is never future. Is never future. Is never indicative of future results. And always, consult with whoever you need to consult with in that regard in reference to your finances. So, with that being said, I want to let everyone know my purpose for this evening. My purpose for this evening is not to do a traditional presentation. Although I do have a few short clips to show you and a few slides, my purpose is to have a conversation with you all this evening. And I want to give an extra special welcome to our first time viewers. You guys are definitely in for a special treat. So make sure you're in a position where you will not be distracted because, as I always say, I'm not going to be long, but I'm going to be strong. Also, I want to make sure that everybody stays plugged in until the very end tonight because I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to share the opportunity, have a quick conversation with you, but then I'm going to get into a few additional numbers. A lot of people are wanting to know about our compensation program. So tonight, I'm going to cover that real quickly. People even want to know where and how they're getting paid. So I'm going to show that very quickly when we're done. So, if you have time, make sure you stay tuned to the very, very end. So, again, with that, I have the esteemed pleasure to introduce something to you that we are very excited about. The person that invited you, you're going to see why their energy level was so high. You're going to see why we've attracted people like Miss Lisa Patton, who's an industry leader. I mean, I've gotten phone calls and conversations. She's not aware of this about her being over here. This is who you just heard from. So, we are definitely excited about what's going on in this ecosystem at this time. So she said some good things about me, ladies and gentlemen, but I have to be, as I said, this is conversation time. Got to be real with you guys. I've been in this industry for well over 30 years. I've had tremendous success. I've been able to buy my dream homes, dream, apartments or penthouses, whatever you want to call it. Even my dream car, I was able to purchase cash and have it delivered to my front door and dropped off and recorded, right? But the thing about it, all that's cool, but I have to let you all know that I'm no different than anybody within the sound of my voice tonight. No different at all. I did everything Mama Brown told me to do, y'all. And just like your Mama Brown, my Mama Brown told me I better go to school to get a good education so I can get a good job so I can get up out of her house. Now, I did everything she told me to do, but I have to be frank, I was totally like disillusioned after 4 or 5 years of working in corporate America. And you guys may be able to relate to me on why that was. Number one, I found myself not having a quality time that I wanted to spend with my family. I got a lot of kids. Let me just be frank. And I felt like I was literally getting up at dark 30 in the morning, getting home at dark 30 at night. How many of y'all can relate to that? If you can, put a seven in the chat. I would actually get home and come in the house, grab my daughter, throw in a high chair, slingshot some food in her mouth, snatch out the high chair, drag her through a tub of water real quick, throw her in the bed, and then try to have the nerve to read a bedtime story to her. And she's looking at me like, number one, who are you? Number two, why are you dragging me through the house like this? And I'm like, I'm trying to spend some quality time with you. And she couldn't talk at the time, but I could tell by the look on her face, she was saying, well, you may need to get your tail home a little earlier, right? So the other thing you may be able to relate to, and then it felt like I was really helping a company get to their goals. I'm all wrapped up to their dreams and manifesting what they want, and they had no concern about what my personal family goals were. I don't know if y'all can relate to that. The other thing was I wasn't excited at all about the income I was making. Now, when I was in college, I would go to sleep with a pen and a pad by the side of my bed. I would wake up with concepts. ideas and insights. But after 4 or 5 years in corporate America, I turned into not Ted Bundy, that's a mass murderer, but what's his name, Mr. Bundy from that show Married with Children? I'm telling my age now, where he would basically go to work, come home, sit on the couch, stick his hand in his pants, watch TV, drink a beer, and go to bed. It just became so routine. And I found myself always having more month left at the end of my money. Now, y'all might not know what I'm talking about, but I know somebody can relate. Always had more month at the end of my money. Trying to make ends meet, but while I'm trying to make ends meet, the candle is burning at both ends. You know what I'm saying? So luckily, I was blessed enough to be introduced to an industry. I went to a meeting over 30 years ago, and I found out that there was a concept where people can work together and move as one band following one sound on an idea. And you can actually earn more than any job can pay you if you find the right company at the right time with the right products and with the right leadership. And I found that 30 years ago. And guys, I got to tell you, to wrap this up, the finances are wonderful. It's great, but it's even better to have the time freedom to spend those finances on those who matter most, and those are your loved ones. How many of y'all can relate to that, right? So tonight, again, I'm here to share an idea, right? Well, it's an idea that's come to fruition. And the timing is perfect because regardless of what you think about our current administration, prayerfully you're paying attention. Prayerfully you're paying attention when you go to the grocery store and see that a pack of chicken has went up significantly, right? Prayerfully you're paying attention when you're at the gas pump and you see how much it costs to fill up your tank now and how fast it seems like, you're always filling up. Prayerfully you're paying attention to what's going on with our economy, but is your income going up? The prices are going up, but most people's income stays the same. That was my issue with corporate America. And so, with that, you have to understand that you want to pay attention because our current administration is spot on something. I'm not getting into politics. What I'm telling you is you better have eyes to see and ears to hear, period. Now, here's the fact of the matter. I gained a few pounds before Thanksgiving. And I go to the gym 2, 3 times a week, right? It's like my mind is getting ready to get to my family in North Carolina and start greasing for the next, 3, 4, 5 days. But that's my business. I'm gonna be honest with you. And no offense to anybody, but I don't want to hear about your weight loss shake. I don't want to hear, I want to find out how to position myself and my family to get paid without me selling anything. We're not looking for salespeople. We're not looking for people to run around and push, a service or a product. So hopefully tonight, what you hear makes sense to you. So we're going to get into this. I'm going to share my screen very quickly. And I usually call myself high check, low tech. But listen, you can't stay the same forever. If I teach it, I got to be it. I'm starting to get a little high tech here. So I learned a little something, how to actually have my little fat head on the screen at the same time when I'm showing the presentation. So we're going to get into this, guys, because tonight, as I said, I'm here and I have the distinct pleasure. And Roger, if you can't see my head, because you know me, I don't want to mess nothing up, please text me and let me know, right? So with that, guys, I'm here to share about an opportunity with a phenomenal platform called Metaterra is the umbrella. Metaterra is the umbrella. Then we have Bellator, which is the marketing arm, and Miracle Cash and More, which is the product and the brain behind everything we do. And my goal tonight is to not, we don't do convincing. My goal tonight is to give you enough information so you can make an educated decision to assume an equity position, not next week, but tonight. Okay. So with that, I need you to understand that this particular product that I'm about to talk about, to put it in a nutshell, what we're doing is we're acquiring something called nodes. And if you're not aware, understand we are headed to we're already in a digital society, really. AI and all this technology that's steadily increasing, we're already in a digital society. But you need to be paying attention because our president has said, and we have it on video, that he's going to make sure that America is the crypto capital of the world. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a tremendous blessing because you know the dollar is getting eaten up on a daily basis. It's almost like having a virtual hole in your pocket. When you leave the house with $100 before you even go spend the first dollar, it's probably worth about 97, right? Because of something called inflation. So with this digital currency, there's something called the blockchain that is the ninth wonder of the world. The blockchain, ladies and gentlemen, is the greatest invention of our lifetime. Since you and I have been on this earth, there's nothing that's bigger than the oncoming of something called the blockchain. What it does is it makes all financial transactions fair and immutable, meaning nobody can cheat it because it's an open global public ledger. That's the main thing you need to understand. So my point is, and my whole mission and my heart's condition is for everybody to understand it's not something to be afraid of because we're going to it. You need to get ahead of it and you can position yourself to get wealthy, to be honest with you, right? But you have to do it smart. And so what we have is something called the node. It's like having a digital vending machine. I remember several years ago, I was interested. I had a friend that made serious income because he owned a few vending machines in key locations. But he said, Derek, I make good money, but I'm tired of having to drive to these puppies and restock them, this and that, even though it was his own business and he was doing well and carrying big buckets of change, right? Well, what about being able to have a digital vending machine that you never have to service, that you never have to pay to get maintained, that you never have to pay a monthly fee on? Matter of fact, you don't have to pay for it again once you acquire it. Are you kidding me? And it pays you for life. So, my question to you tonight, number one, you take the time to get educated. And if you decide to join, we give you education on all that. You'll be up to speed on what the blockchain and cryptocurrency is. That's easy. But the question to you today, whether you're fully experienced, whether you're a trader, whether you're a novice and never heard about cryptocurrency and the blockchain, the question is have you positioned yourself to earn crypto daily? See, it's one thing to trade your time for money. You're almost telling a company, yeah, I'm worth $200,000 a year. So that's all, you could give me that and I'm happy. Are you kidding me? You've been created to have unlimited potential. And I'm going to be frank with you, the blockchain allows you and cryptocurrency allows you to tap in to that potential. So are you earning cryptocurrency daily? Just think about that, right? So I'm about to show you a quick clip of a gentleman who's not affiliated with us. But the main thing people think they needed to do was start trading crypto. And I did it for years, right? And then they think they have to buy cryptocurrency and hold on to it and hope they got the right one and it's going to go up. But cryptocurrency is like a heart monitor. It goes up and down, right? So it takes a lot of skill. You can, win or lose. And some people, I know people do very well with that, but I'm lazy. I don't want to trade nothing and I don't want to buy nothing and sit on it. I want my money just coming in every day, every hour, every second. So listen how this man explains what his node does, because this is exactly what I'm about to talk to you about. And look how much and listen to the everything he said, the full scope of what he says, because he's going to touch on the old school side of cryptocurrency. And I'm kind of giving the story where people thought they had to have mining machines that are expensive, they're cumbersome, and they run your utility bill up like crazy. That was the first phase. You don't need that anymore. Now it's software. SaaS, software as a service. So listen very closely, and then we're going to break this thing down. Remember, he's not affiliated with us at all, but he clearly breaks down how nodes, owning a node can change your life. Here we go. Turn your speakers up and pay close attention.
Did make millions of dollars in crypto, but I don't trade crypto and I don't buy crypto. I make it. So I started making Bitcoin at $220. That in itself is crazy. So we started mining Bitcoin. We were making a lot of money. We were like, man, if Bitcoin ever gets to $10,000, we're going to be rich. This guy that was mentoring me, he was worth $100 million. I became one of his top guys. And at that time, I didn't know anybody worth that kind of money. It just sounds preposterous to the average person. For the next 7 years, I learned software instead of hardware mining. So when you mine Bitcoin, you have a physical piece of machine. You plug it into the network. It confirms confirms transactions, you make Bitcoin. On the platform that we launched, which was a company called Gala Games, we worked with Snoop, the death row chain that Snoop gave me, kind of crazy. And instead of hardware, we had software. So these software nodes will confirm transactions on the blockchain. Every time you buy something on that blockchain, sell something, move some money back and forth, there's a fee. That fee goes up in the cloud and it's split evenly between the node owners. So that very first blockchain that we launched, I'm going to put 15,000 in. And for 2.5 years, those nodes just confirmed transactions. I had about 17 million tokens in my wallet. I watched it go from less than a penny to 5 cents, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 84 cents in a matter of like 5 months. So I went from $11,000 in software nodes to having over 11.4 million liquid currency.
Wow, from 11,000 in nodes to over 15 million in liquid currency. So understand, as he said, these nodes put you in a position, whether you trade or not, or whether you buy crypto or not, you're getting paid because the node validates. See, the way to earn income is to position yourself to have a toll booth on the blockchain. Whereas when people are doing what they're going to do anyway, you and I get paid. That's what we're here to hear about. So here's another question. What if you could participate in the largest industry on the planet? And what if you could generate a passive income stream that will outlive your grandchildren? Are you kidding me? Now, I'm not a scholar in this area, but I know there's a phenomenal book out there that talks about a man or woman, a good man or woman, leaves an inheritance for their children's children. Most of us ain't doing that because all we can focus on in this economy is what's in our immediate presence, which is our kids, right? We're not storing up for our grandkids. And I'll give you another example. My grandmother, she doesn't know what a job is. Are y'all with me? Like I said, I just want to talk with you tonight. My grandmother doesn't know what a job is because my grandfather made enough money to take care of her and 13 children. But by the time my mother met my father and had me, everybody was working just to be able to keep the roof over our head. Do you see where I'm going? And now here I am telling my kids, hey, when my son turned 10, I said, you get ready to go get a paper out or something because everybody got to bring some cheese up in here so we can keep moving. But we need to reverse that. And this is an arena where we can do that. So what if you could also purchase a product one time and get paid for life? So now you can put yourself in that position. That's why I tell people, when you're listening to this presentation, don't get distracted. Don't let anything go over your head because you want to make sure you pay close attention because it could be that thing that changes the financial trajectory of your family for generations to come, because this thing will literally be able to be passed down to your children and their children because it's on the blockchain, guys. So the key is when I ask those questions, would you take action or would you procrastinate? All right. So I want to show you another clip that kind of gives you the details on what we do. As I told you, I have just a few short clips to show you, and we're going to wrap this thing up because I'm breaking down to you tonight Bellator, Metaterra, which is our umbrella company. Everything's under Metaterra. I'm going to show you that in a second. Then we have Bellator, what you see on your screen, which is the marketing arm, Miracle Cash, and more. But I can't talk about Bellator until you get an understanding of what Miracle Cash and more, because that's the brainchild behind everything, right? So turn your speakers up again. Please pay close attention to this quick clip, and you're going to see the key insights into this true opportunity.
Dear Bellator family, we wanted to share some key insights to help you better understand the true value of the opportunity you are part of, the foundation of Miracle Cash and more. Miracle Cash and more began its journey in 2017 with a clear vision to become a global fintech powerhouse, not just a traditional bank. Our starting point was the development of a core banking system, also known as a switch in the financial industry. This system consists of millions of lines of code. It took 3 years and over $5 million to develop. We built a mid-level core banking system from the ground up. Why is this significant? Because we own the technology. We are not leasing or dependent on third parties, which saves costs and provides flexibility. When you invest your time in a company, that company should deserve your time and effort by providing real sustainable value. What has the company invested to create an opportunity for you? Who is the actual customer? If it's just you, then it's not a real business. It's a cycle destined to fail. Most crypto MLMs have failed because they start with a compensation plan and then pick a product that fits. Their focus isn't on solving real-world problems, but on making quick money. That's not sustainable. Miracle Cash and More is not an MLM. It's a fintech company offering real services to merchants. Bellator is the marketing arm, designed to help expand Miracle's reach. This gives us the best of both worlds. A company with real products and services. A network marketing structure to help spread the word and reward those who grow the network.
Absolutely phenomenal. So again, understand clearly that what we are is a software solutions company in the fintech space, financial technology, right? With a real world application. Because these nodes that I'm talking to you about, ladies and gentlemen, literally are allowing businesses, listen to me closely, they're allowing businesses around the world to now, as our president is wanting us to be, the number one, cryptocurrency capital in the world, now through Miracle Cash and More, which I'm about to break down to you, businesses can accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment. That means when you go in and tap, swipe, or insert your card to pay for your gas, to pay for your groceries, to pay for your dry cleaning, right? That business can now accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment. Listen close. And the nodes that you and I own validate those transactions and the fees that are paid, and every node is paid evenly for life. I'm going to break that down to you. So let's take a look, ladies and gentlemen, at Miracle Cash and More. Miracle Cash and More is an 8-year-old company, right, with hundreds of employees. In addition to that, they literally are fully licensed, fully insured, and highly regulated, and we have physical locations as well. What I want to make note of is the average company that even tries to attempt something like this or that is in our space lasts about 1.5 to 1.2 to 1.5 years. We're already 8 years old with over $90 million invested. Are you kidding me? So here's a picture of one of our physical locations. We have actual physical locations around the world. And this is the grand opening of the store in Amsterdam. And the phone number and address is right there on the screen, right? But what I want to bring your attention to is this image here. You see this picture of this brain? Well, it says banking core, or they're also known as something called a core switch. And you can see that our entire ecosystem is tied into our core switch. And this is why over 90 million has already been invested. This is why Wall Street juggernauts are now attracted to and have come and aligned themselves with Miracle Cash and More, ladies and gentlemen, as we speak, right? So this core switch, the only other, it allows us to basically be our own bank, right? But this core switch, the only other entity in the world that has it is the global central banks, the banking system. Outside of the banking system, Miracle Cash and More is the only entity that has a core switch. Are you kidding me? So now that positions you and I in a unique position to help bank the unbanked, but then also become our own banks at the same time. We'll get into that as well. Understand we already have a global presence. Literally, we are worldwide. And if you look closely at this slide, you'll see the pictures of the front of our other stores around the world where you can literally go in these physical locations. You can go in with cash, right, or credit card or what have you, and purchase cryptocurrency, any kind of cryptocurrency you want. Or you could take your cryptocurrency in one of our physical stores and cash it out. Absolutely phenomenal. So I have another quick clip to show you, and this is going to go into the switch, right, or the core banking system that I talked about that we have. Pay close attention to this, and you'll see why we have a competitive edge. And let me be very clear, we actually have no competition. Here we go.
We built our own switch, no third-party licensing required. handles crypto transactions directly with customizable merchant admin panels. Offers higher APRs than traditional banks, making us the crypto bank for merchants. Secure and efficient transaction management. Continuous updates to benefit both customers and merchants.
Gotta pause it right here. They're flashing these shots quick. I need you to pay close attention, guys. Read what this says. It says a huge victory. Because of who we are and what we offer, we have, not we're looking for or we're trying to get or we need you to go out and find. No, it says we have secured 4 contracts with 4 of the largest POS device companies in the world. Now, what a POS device system is when you put your card, when you're paying for your groceries or what have you, and you tap, swipe, or insert, that machine is a point of sale system, POS. We already got 4 of the largest POS device companies in the world under contract. That's Ingenico, Pax, Verifone, and NCR. Had to stop that one because I need you to make sure you understand that, and I'm going to break that down as well.
These companies represent over 100 million active accounts, and our technology is installed in all of these machines. This is a huge victory and a clear sign that we are leading the way in the industry. This is why it takes time to be the best. Building something of this magnitude isn't easy. It requires patience, dedication, and relentless hard work. But the results speak for themselves.
All right. So, I got a test for you. What were the 4 companies we have contracts with? Y'all didn't know you were going to be tested tonight, did you? Well, it's already on your screen. Ingenico, Pax, NCR, and Verifone. Here's what I want you to understand. That includes way more than 100 million merchant devices globally that we already have. I told you, we ain't looking for salespeople. We're looking for people who got enough common sense to understand they need to position themselves in this platform one way or another. One of the things me and my business partner talk about all the time is we finally have something, because there's so much mess out here. So many of us have been through rug pulls and companies failing us. And now we have a place for what we call the wounded warriors, people who are burnt out. It's funny because a lot of and this is our friends in the industry, I'm not knocking anybody, but, we got folks who they're driving a Benz, but it's 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? Their wife got a Louis bag, but it's like, that was 7 seasons ago. Are you kidding me? But they were on top years ago when we had long distance phone service and we were selling the shakes, lotions, and potions. A lot of these people are disillusioned. I met some of them when they're driving, and not knocking anybody's hustle, but, I know people that were like rock stars in this industry, and one of them picked me up in Uber the other day. So I need you to understand, now we have a place, we are literally bringing honor and integrity and fun back to this industry with the most common sense opportunity that I've seen in my 30+ year career. So Ingenico, Pax, Verifone, and NCR, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to do something. Next time you go to swipe your card, which I promise you most of you did today, you use your credit or debit card, whether it was online or at the gas station or at the store. Well, next time you're doing that, I want you to look at the device and you're going to chuckle to yourself because you're going to see one of these 4 companies on it. And chances are it's probably going to be Ingenico. I mean, I don't know why I'm always seeing Ingenico. It probably depends on what region you're in, but we got them locked globally anyway because we already have over 100 million devices because of these huge 4 companies already under contract. As a matter of fact, I don't like to talk about it. Let's show you the proof in the pudding. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a screenshot. I want you to look at this website. You can go research it as soon as we're done. Go to ingenico.com. This is a multi-billion-dollar company. As you can see, they're first in the global market leader of POS systems. They're in over 120 plus countries, and they have 40 million plus terminals already worldwide. Are you with me? Already have over 40 million. And guess what? We are already embedded in those systems. That's going to hit some of y'all about 1 in the morning. Don't worry about it. You're going to wake up to that little chubby guy say, I thought they were trying to get me to sell POS systems. No, that's why I want you to pay close attention. So this is Ingenical's website, and we are actually already on their global website, right, as a payment solution for cryptocurrency. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do you one better. Ingenical actually sent one of the POS systems to our CEO of Bellator, and here's a quick clip of that. As he says, take a look at this.
Hey everyone, take a look at this. We just got a few of these machines shipped to us. It's the new Ingenico machine. And then when we turned it on, look at that. Look at that. How amazing is that? We're literally preloaded, not in the App Store, but actually on the device itself. You hit that, there you go. Isn't that incredible? Wow.
I'm saying wow right with them. So now you got somewhat of a understanding on Miracle Cash and more, our actual technology. Well, now I want to show you, because everybody is now mentally tuning in to their favorite radio station. And that station is WIFM. Derek, all this sounds good, but what's in it for me? Well, let me show you right now why it matters to you. Then we're going to get into some numbers and get ready to wrap this thing up. Here we go.
Many people don't have the experience to evaluate real opportunities. That's why we're committed to educating you while also sharing the potential of our company. We're not just another crypto project. We are a real company with real customers delivering real services. This document is for you, to help you recognize the difference between a fleeting opportunity and something that is truly deserving of your time and effort. We're proud to say we're just getting started. With our infrastructure in place, we're ready to scale globally. In the world of transactional finance, a switch, also known as a core banking system, is the central infrastructure that manages and routes financial transactions between different entities such as banks, payment processors, merchants, and card networks. When a customer swipes their card, taps their phone, or makes an online payment, the transaction request is generated and sent to the switch. The switch acts as the middleman. It receives the transaction data and routes it to the correct financial institution, e.g. the customer's bank, for authorization. Once the issuing bank processes the request, either approving or declining the transaction, the switch relays the response back to the point of sale, POS, terminal, or online platform almost instantly. After authorization, the switch helps settle the transaction, ensuring the funds are correctly transferred from the customer's bank to the merchant's account. The switch ensures transactions are secure, encrypted, and compliant with financial regulations like PCI DSS for card payments and KYC AML protocols for anti-fraud measures.
Absolutely phenomenal. So understand that you're paying for your dinner at a restaurant, right? Or getting your dry cleaning. You tap, swipe, or insert your card. It's happening and it's approved in a split second. But this is what we all have to understand. And this is why I think our CEO of Miracle Cash and More, I really feel I know that he's a genius, because he didn't just start some crypto company. He didn't just start some trading platform. He said, no, I'm going to position people to make a one-time purchase and sit back and get paid for life by getting a toll booth on the blockchain super highway. So when you tap, swipe, insert your card, what's happening is it's sending a signal, it's going to the switch, the core banking system. Then that's routing it to your bank. Now it's asking your bank to verify if this is your account and do you have the $22 to pay for this lunch. And then it says yes, it approves it, it comes back to the core switch and approves the transaction through the POS system. But what's happening is their fees. See, your charge is $22, right? Well, you're paying $22, but the business is actually paying a fee for every single, listen to me, for every single transaction that people are when they use their card, the business is paying a fee. Now I understand why MasterCard, Visa, Amex, Discover, why they are behemoths, because they're charging these businesses 4 or 5%, right? To be able to allow that business to accept credit or debit cards as a form of payment from you and I. Are y'all with me? Well, what our CEO has done is now put them in position to be able to accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment, which is a global thing, because most people that have cryptocurrency don't even know what to do with it. They might be collecting it, earning it, but they don't know, they don't have a way to spend it. But now we do on a global basis. This is what I want y'all to understand. And so now our node that we acquire is validating these transactions around the world. And the company is charging a small fee, but is nowhere near what MasterCard and Visa is charging. And we're getting ready to get into that now. So now I can start explaining Bellator to you, which is the marketing arm. So the only way to get to Miracle Cash and More and acquire node is you have to come through Bellator, which is the marketing arm. Miracle Cash and More is not a network marketing company, right? It's a software solutions company. As a matter of fact, if you talk to Hakan Torad, he'll tell you, I don't know nothing about no network marketing, but he's ingenious, because now we have the marketing arm, right, that has a phenomenal comp plan, which tonight I'm going to touch on. That's why you want to stay tuned. But while Miracle Cash and More is 8 years old, Bellator is 11 months old. Bellator will be a year old next month in December. We're having a huge event in New York, December 10th, to commemorate and celebrate our 1 year anniversary with Bellator. So when my sponsor talked to me about this, he was talking to me about it for 3 years. I was saying no. I want y'all to hear me. Nope, nope, nope. I'm doing my thing. I'm rolling. And I kept saying what a lot of people, we make the mistake of saying, I don't want to do nothing new. I don't have time to do nothing new. Well, that's why we missed uh, Google. That's why we missed being able to invest in, Amazon and Bitcoin early, because we didn't have eyes to see or ears to hear. Well, after meeting with him 3 years later, and everything that he said they would do had been done, and Bellator had just launched. So we have a rock solid company that's over 8 years old called Miracle Cash and More that now has a marketing arm that's brand new. It's a big baby in diapers, and they merge together. Are you kidding me? It's like the sun, moon, and stars are lined up. And I said, let's roll. Now, ground floor opportunity, but also one of the final things that closed me is the fact that there's no attrition. Let me break that down to you real quick, and we get ready to get into the nitty gritty. No attrition means in every company out there, guys, they have something called auto ship. Like I used to do this health product, and I was single at the time. I said, I'm one person. I only need one bottle a month. Why do I have to buy a whole case of them to keep getting this little funky check every month? That's not fair. They said, if you want to get paid, you got to get a whole case, sell some of them or something, right? They were looking for salespeople. They weren't positioning me to join their company and then get paid and leave a lineage for my children's children. They wanted me to go sell juice or a weight loss product. Are y'all with me? So with Bellator, you need to understand we don't get paid from people, we get paid from nodes. And so there's no monthly auto ship, there's no website fee. As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, there's not even a cost to sign up in Bellator. There's not a cost to sign up. So with that, let's say if your entire team left, whether you built a team, for those who have the heart condition to share, you don't have to. Let me make that clear. A lot of our people say, I just want to be an investor. I just want to be a node owner. Derek, I'm going to buy, 10, 15 of those nodes and I'm good. Well, you know what's funny about that? When they start looking up under the hood, they end up telling a few other investor friends. So they end up, doing it by default. But in any event, you can just get your nodes and just sit back and chill. But you can change your zip code if you understand in business timing is everything and you share it with just a few people, right? But my point is this: you could share or build a team of 2 people or 2,000. If your entire team left, your check wouldn't be affected one iota. Mr. Brown, what do you mean by that? Ladies and gentlemen, even the people that leave, they're still getting paid. And we get paid from not only the nodes that we have, but also a small percentage from the nodes from everyone else in your organization as well. So your income wouldn't be affected one bit if your entire team left. I want you to think about that. That's mind blowing. This is all from a product that pays you for life for a one time purchase. So let's get into the product. The software, the CPU node, right? Remember, it validates transactions on the network. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to go back there and look at it. I tell people that all the time. Don't rack your brain trying to figure out how this thing works. You ain't that smart, right? You don't get on the airplane and try to figure out how it breaks the gravity. By going 30,000 feet in the air and cruising, you don't understand that, but you get in, buckle up, and go to sleep, don't you? So what you want to do is you want to understand the timing that you're hearing about this. So your node to get paid in our native token called Phoenic token, right? And that's going to be the gas for our entire ecosystem. Then we have another token called Mirex, and you'll learn about that as well. So you get paid every day. It says deposited daily, but technically you get paid every hour, every minute, and every second because transactions are happening all the time. And the cost is a one-time $1,200 for the nodes. But check this out. This is why the person that invited you is so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, this company has the nerve to have a BOGO going on right now. That's why we said there's a limited time, because not only is there a limited amount of nodes, there are only 210,000. I want you to know that, first of all. But right now, up until the middle of the week, I think Wednesday, like early Thursday morning, is when this BOGO ends. You pay $1,200 for one node, and they got the nerve to give you another one free. That's going to hit some of y'all about 2 in the morning. Don't worry about it, right? So let me explain the opportunity by you acquiring this node. There's an 80-20 split from the purchase of a CPU node, right? So let me give you an example of the type of income you and I can earn from these nodes. Now, I want to be clear that what I'm about to do is something called breaking it down to the ridiculous. What I mean by that is, number one, we already established that we have well over, because I showed you 40 million in one account. Well, one of those other accounts has 100 million merchants, and we'll have all 4 of them under contract. So we've established that we have way more than 100 million merchants. For the sake of this example, I'm going to dumb down these numbers because we want you to be pleasantly surprised once you start getting paid from your node. So 100 million merchants globally under contract. We got that established. In this example, we're just going to say 2% of them are offering cryptocurrencies as a form of payment. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a joke, okay? That's 2 million merchants offering cryptocurrency as a form of payment. Now, in this example, we're going to say just 2 crypto transactions a day at a $100 average sale per transaction. This is simple math. So that's 400 million in merchant sales a day. 400 million in merchant sales a day. This is why I say our CEOs are genius, because Miracle Pay doesn't charge 4 or 5% like Visa, MasterCard. They charge 2%. 2% is Miracle Pay's transaction fee. Are you with me? Simple math. So that's 8 million a day in revenue. Now, 8 million a day in revenue, let's break that down. 30% is paid out to you and I as node owners. Now that 30% is broken up like this. That's 2.4 million a day in this example. Just 2.4 million a day. 80% goes to you and I as node holders. 20% goes to the downline, to the marketing organization, right? Technically, guys, that means you're double dipping. Don't let that go over your head. Don't let that go over your head. So 80% goes to the node holders, right? Let's break that down. 210 nodes only. And here's the powerful thing. Doesn't matter that I've been in a few months before you. You get started tonight, acquire a node. Your node is going to receive the exact same payment as mine. Are you kidding me? So with that, That's $11.42 a day in this ridiculous example. Guys, that's 4,000 and change a year off a purchase that you made one time. Well, let's remember we got a BOGO going on now. So that means actually that's 8,000 and like 300 and something, almost $400 and change for a one-time investment. And also understand in this ridiculously low investment, that's just the first year. It's going to always go up every day as mass adoption is taking place of people using cryptocurrency as a form of payment. Let me give you one more quick example. Now, we got 100 million merchants, right, under contract globally. In this example, we're going to say 10% of the merchants offer cryptocurrency as a form of payment. That's still like stupid. That's insanely low. It's almost laughable. So that's 10 million merchants in this example, right? 2 crypto transactions a day with those 10 million merchants. $100 average sale. That's $2 billion in merchant sales. I said billion with a B, right? 2% of that 2 billion is Miracle Pay's fee. That's $40 million a day. And guys, that's low. $40 million a day, right? Let's break that down for the note holders. 30% is paid out to the note holders. Well, that's 12 million a day in this example, right? There's an 80-20 split. 80% goes to the note holders, being you and I. 20% goes to your downline, right? And remember how many nodes there are? Just 210,000 of them. And I don't remember. I mean, not remember. I don't know how many are left. But you don't. Just keep getting them as you can. So that comes out to $45.71 a day. Ladies and gentlemen, that's $16,685 a year. But it's actually more than that. You have to double that number because you're buying one node and getting another one free. Are you kidding me? And you never paid for it again, but you just continue to get paid. What about if you get 5 nodes? What if you got 10 or 20 nodes? Are y'all starting to see what I'm saying? This is why sometimes we don't even get to showing a comp plan because these nodes are what you need to understand you need to be getting right now. Okay? So this is one part of our comp plan. And this is before I get into a few details on it, because we get paid 7 ways in the comp plan outside of the node. And I'm showing you this for a reason because our CEO made a statement and we got it on video. He said, I don't think many of our node owners understand, right? We're owners over here. When you acquire a node, you are node owner. It's your node. It can't be manipulated, it can't be turned off. It is yours, right? Or locked in on the blockchain for life. He said, you guys don't realize that you're going to be the wealthiest. Okay, let's say affiliates in this example or representatives. Y'all are going to be the wealthiest ones in the industry in the world, bar none. And it's because the way this system is set up. So this company has done some things that no other company on the planet has done or is going to do or will be able to do. So check this out. Now, we gave praise to Miss Lisa Patton, hit Difference Maker in a few hours, right? Difference Maker is where you introduce 2 people and they get a node, you hit Difference Maker. Now, I guarantee you she's going to hit Winner this week. Winner means she has 3 difference makers. Make sense? She's got 3 difference makers. She becomes a winner, but now she gets a $500 bonus. So if this was you, and now you help 3 people become winner, you become a leader, and now you're going to get a $2,500 bonus immediately. Help 3 winners become leaders, you're going to get I just said that, $2,500 bonus. Help 3 leaders become, get 3 leaders, okay? And then you're going to be, I'm sorry, you see here, you get 3 winners, you become a leader, and then you get 3 leaders, you're going to become a champion. I'm getting excited because my mind is on something ahead. Get 3 leaders in 3 separate legs, you become a champion, you're going to get a $10,000 bonus, right? And then get 3 champions, help 3 people become champions, just 3, you're going to become a legend, and you're going to get a $50,000 bonus. Now, I just told you Bellator isn't even a year old, it's a year old next month, next month, December. I think we already have about 4 or 5 legends already, and we probably have about maybe 10 champions Are you kidding me? But here's why you want to get the champion cat quick. Number one, not only did you earn all of this in bonuses, but when you hit champion or legend, you're put into a $50 million pool that's shared by only champions and legends. Are you kidding me? That's why Miss Patton, watch how quick she hits champion. I'm telling you, for those of you who are in the family already, just keep your eye on people because the momentum, people are getting a common sense, people are waking up to what's truly happening in this society. So in any event, I just wanted to show you that now. I'm going to get into some other details later. 3 simple ways to get started, ladies and gentlemen. Get back with the person that invited you, get their link, and assume an equity position tonight. And then immediately purchase your node. And I'm going to show you that you can purchase one node, you're going to get another one free, but then there's another package from there. You can purchase 3 of them and get 3 more free. Are you kidding me? I'm going to show y'all that tonight. And then share the opportunity with at least 3 people. Because I just showed you it takes 3 people to get to the top of the comp plan. So here's the powerful part about that. For every person you introduce that acquires a node, you're going to earn an immediate $225 direct sales bonus. That's pretty strong. And that goes up as they get, bigger packages. And remember, there are only 210,000 nodes available. So with that being said, in conclusion, remember, Miracle Pay, 8-year-old company, hundreds of employees, offices around the world, over 90 million already invested, licensed and insured, highly regulated, and we already have physical stores, right? Bellator, the marketing arm, is the most phenomenal compensation plan I've seen. I'm going to get into it tonight. Ground floor opportunity with no attrition, with a one-time purchase, with no monthly fees, right? Or no website fees or nothing. And we have this behemoth at our fingertips. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you the last clip where we've now gotten the attention of Wall Street juggernauts. I've never seen this happen in my 30 plus year career. Our chairman of the board of our board is Mr. Douglas Anderson. I told you we have a parent company called Bellator, right? As a matter of fact, I like to show and prove. Take 2 seconds to show you the website. Uh-oh, did I delete that? No, I didn't. Here we go. Matter of fact, before I do that, this is our CEO. People say, well, I want to learn about the CEO. He's got his own website, hakantoran.com. This is his name. That's the website. And you can go here and see his vision, find out about the company. By the way, he also owns a soccer team as well. So this is his official website. You can even learn more about the project by going to his website. Here's our entire ecosystem. Well, the majority of it. Bellator, Miracle Cash and More, Miracle Chain, Miracle Pay, the Mirix token, and Cha-Ching, which is a marketing app that's going to launch. It's going to be probably completed in the beginning of the year, like literally in January. And it's an app that'll literally market, follow up, and close people for you. Some of y'all don't understand. If you sleep good tonight, you didn't get it. But now I want to show you the Bellator, right? I want to go direct to Bellator's website. And this is our marketing arm. Check this out. Look where it's located. 45 Rockefeller Center in New York City. This is why we're having our year anniversary in New York City. Guys, we have offices all around the world. Bellator is our parent umbrella company. As you can see right here, here's our CEO, Mr. Hakan Toran, seasoned fintech and blockchain strategic with deep expertise in payments, digital banking, and tokenized economy. This is the legal team, right? But this is our board. This is our board. Doug Anderson is a Wall Street veteran with 25 million in underwriting authority and hundreds of millions of raised private equity. Are you kidding me? Then we have Stephen Moore, a globally recognized accountant. You can go to this site and look. You can read all about them. We're not going to do all that tonight. I'm giving you the resources. Bellator.com. But Stephen Moore is a globally recognized economist, author, senior economic advisor to political campaigns. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is the current administration's financial advisor. We have it on video where Trump actually, before he started one meeting, and this is on the news, he said, no, we have to bring Stephen Moore, and he has an update on our situation. He corrected something that the global economists had said where we were financially as a country. Stephen Moore corrected, and the president had him do it on live television. The president also offered him to be the chairman of the Federal Reserve. He turned it down because he wanted to stay in the private sector. Do you understand who we have on our board? This is Fernando Vitasola, right? He's a board member. Douglas Anderson has bought these juggernauts to us, guys. He's the president of a leading Mexican customs firm. He's an expert in cross-border trade and blockchain applications. He's also a high-ranking official in the Mexican government. John Bayer, 30 years of global experience with 500 plus million raised in contracts in 41 countries. Let me share something with you. You go do your research. John Bayer is the reason why your tail is able to scroll on TikTok all day. He's the reason why we got cell phones. And then we have Mr. Stephen Norris. For the sake of time, I'm going to move on because I want you to hear directly. First of all, let me show you this while I'm here. I want you to hear from our CEO very quickly. And guys, we're going to wrap it up. We're at the top of the hour. I'm getting ready to show you this comp plan. That's something I haven't done yet. I think that's going to be an extra special treat. And then show you our back office and show you where and how we get paid. Quick message from Mr. Hakan Toran, our CEO.
Hi there. Today I'm happy to announce the establishment of Metaterra. We have finally consolidated all our projects, all our businesses under the Metaterra umbrella. We have signed a concrete agreement with Wall Street Capital Partners. Together, we are bringing this to the second level. Our vision has finally been executed. We are ready.
Absolutely phenomenal. Now, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, that's not what I want. This is, again, the chairman of our board, Mr. Doug Anderson, sitting at the what do they call it? The trading floor on Wall Street, right? Doing an interview. And he's done several of them. So pay close attention to this one, guys. Then we're going to get to our comp plan.
And a warm welcome today to the Wall Street Capital segment of New to the Street. I'm Janet Alvarez, your host here from the iconic New York Stock Exchange. We're joined today by very special guest, Doug Anderson, CEO of Wall Street Capital Management. Doug, how are you today?
Great to be here. Thank you.
Doug, you know, there's so much history here at the New York Stock Exchange, and I feel like people like yourself are rooted in the traditional exchanges, in the traditional world of finance. How did you decide to make the leap to crypto?
So it wasn't hard. I mean, we are looking at the numbers, and as recent as like 7 years ago, I think we're looking at 3 billion transactions in that space. Today, we're looking upwards of 70 billion. Wow. So the growth is phenomenal, and it's something that can't be ignored. And people on this floor here are not ignoring it. They're looking at it very closely. And so we're following it, and we're looking for special companies that are cutting edge, that have something that we think is going to be catch fire, let's say, and grow exponentially. And when something grows exponentially, of course, investors can profit from that multiple.
Absolutely. So for our audience that isn't yet familiar with Miracle, tell us about a Miracle. What is it? Where is it founded?
So the holding company for Miracle is Metaterra, and Miracle is a one of their software assets. Metaterra is a company that we're working with, and we're interested in listing that on the stock exchange. It'll be a holding company for various software assets that they've developed. The first one being Miracle Pay. So you've noticed when you go to a store or a restaurant or what have you, these PAX or Ingenico machines, they're handheld by the server or at the point of purchase, and you wave your card over it or your Apple Pay, and the system reads it and the transaction happens instantly. What's different in this case is it's using it. It enables a crypto wallet to do the same thing, and it's been approved by those companies, Ingenico and Pax, and those two companies represent the largest number of machines out there. So that's maybe 40 million machines across Europe, for example. And so that is a big deal to us. And when we saw that, we realized, hey, we better jump on this thing right away and do what we can to catch the train and not be standing at the station.
Mm. Catch that train and not be standing at the station. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we're going to conclude this
The
portion of the
transaction in
presentation. For sake of time, I'm not going to play that. That's a quick message from our CEO of Bellator, but I don't want to overcook your grits tonight. Listen to me closely. At this point, we always have three types of people. Number three person says, listen, Derek, it sounds good, but it's not for me. Well, if it's not for you, I want to first of all thank you for taking time out on a beautiful Sunday evening. You could have been at any club in the world, but you're here with us. No, but I want you to take the time to thank the person who invited you because they thought enough of you to show you an opportunity that could change your life for generations to come. I want you to do that, all right? And see if you know somebody that you can refer to them. You may know somebody like, hey man, this will make sense to my cousin or my business partner. Number two person has questions. Number two person, I want you to stick around, right? Because I'm going to get into some more detail and I'm going to answer some questions after I do that as well. All right. But who this presentation was for is that number one person who says, Derek, you could have shut up 30 minutes ago. When you said I could get a digital vending machine and buy it one time and get paid forever, I'm in. I didn't need to hear anymore. Well, I want to be the first to congratulate you on taking your first steps and securing your financial future and joining the Bellator family. I do want to be clear, though, to everybody. And I'm going to say this for the person that invited you. Right now, we're not looking for everybody. We're not. We're looking for people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We're looking for people who understand in business timing is everything, right? So let the person know that invited you, whether you're in or out. Don't get no headache. Let your blood pressure go up. Let your hypertension kick in and have a heart attack with the maybe spirit. No, you're either in or out. I'm going to tell you right now, the person that invited you is getting ready to roll like an Amtrak train with no gears and no brakes. And I'm going to tell you the truth. We ain't going to be taking no prisoners and we're going to be shooting the wounded because we don't even have time to carry them. I know that sounds cold-blooded, but so are your bills, right? So with that being said, that concludes this portion of the presentation. What I'm going to do is go right in. If you got to leave, that's fine, right? But one thing I know for a fact, people will go to a training for a job where they're going to, trade hours for dollars. They jacked out of their mind. They'll sit through training for 4, 6, 8 weeks, and they don't want to sit down for over an hour to find out how they can make more than any job on this planet can pay them. Are you kidding me? So one of the things we deal with is mindset. We deal with mindset big time. But tonight I want to clarify the money as well. Okay, so I'm going to show y'all some stuff here. And as a matter of fact, God bless and good night. I'm just going to end the recording, so y'all hold tight.